And welcome to another Autonomous Lounge. The video footage you see could be any parent's nightmare. Of course, there are worse degrees of nightmares involving one's child. But anytime your child is in danger or under attack, you, the parent, know that a sight like this could force you to either commit some life-changing actions on your part that will land you in prison or induce a heart attack. The young lady, Shaya Wanguma, was attacked by both retired veteran Al Bamberger and Matthew Heimbach, and one gentleman who was in the delayed entry program of the U.S. Marine Corps. These men are seen shouting at Shaya, along with the crowd pushing and shoving her. The Marine-to-be is named Joseph Pryor. He was let go as a recruit when they saw this footage, and the Marines Recruitment Office gave a press release condemning his actions caught on camera. As parents, my wife and I will always be worried about stuff like this because our oldest daughter has already attended about 5 police brutality demonstrations without us. She has also participated in teach-ins and has gone to a rally or two. But there's a bigger fear that we have, and that fear is producing people with targets on their backs who, ironically, have contributed nothing to their communities, their society, and have never aided people they don't know. If anything, they can be part of the problem as nothing more than agents of social injustice, parasitical offal feeders in the belly of our society's rulers, leeches of consumerist product drain, only looking forward to the next happy hour or the latest box office smash to opiate their feeble little minds. In 2011, my wife and I got involved in our local Occupy Wall Street movement. We made a conscious decision to bring our kids to certain actions like demos and the larger marches that OWS did in collaboration with Big Labor. And when it came to the more riskier work of unannounced direct actions where there would be civil disobedience, then one of us stayed home with the kids. Our decision for us to put our children in proximity to political activism was to show them how social change begins, where it starts with the grassroots. And it starts from the bottom with people. As I said in an older episode, and I cannot believe that I have over 50 videos now in the 3 months this channel has started, I set out most of the OWS actions and planning work because I actually still felt some form of activist fatigue, if there is such a thing, from some 24 years ago. I just wasn't feeling the we can change the world overnight energy. We mainly had it to where it was my wife doing most of the OWS work, so she would work from home, then head out to Zuccotti Park or at the atrium where most of the committee meetings were happening. I'm not gonna lie, there have been a few close calls where the police would do their kettling tactic to control the crowds at actions by cordoning portions of demonstrators and to contain them and possibly arrest those who resist the containment. Me and the kids, or Miss Autonomist and the kids on occasion, have been caught in a few kettles. But we always planned that both of us would walk a certain distance apart from one another depending on who had the kids, and if a kettle would form, the other would sort of hoist the kids over or body surf them to the other parent so the kids would at least be outside of the kettle. This is what prompted Miss Autonomist and a few other parents to form Parents for Occupy Wall Street and the 99% School. As for kettling, those who resist would be removed from the crowds, and the rest of the group would be given an exit mainly away from the main body of the demo, sort of like forcing people to return to the matrix of onlookers and shoppers and tourists, if you will. You know, the people who keep the matrix going for the likes of the Clintons or the Trumps. Now, I'm sure that there are those who would argue that we were endangering our children, subjecting them to be crushed by crowds, their little eyes to be burned by pepper spray. But ask yourself this question: why would that be the case when people are just merely expressing their freedom of speech and dissent? Why is there violence from the state when we supposedly live in a democracy? We wanted our children to see what capitalism is and who truly protects it, and most importantly, how they protect it. We subjected them to an education, and that is being radical while parenting. Well, everyone, I think I might conclude the parenting series next week, where I ask, what are families? Challenging the normative that is a lie. Drive home safely from the lounge.